underway here. We have everyone in lobby. Everyone's picking their operators. And I'm looking to see if we're going to see some odd operators. We do have a mute making an appearance here on Clubhouse, which we've seen before, but most of the time we've seen a bandit instead. And I think what we might be seeing the mute charge for, the mute jammer being used for, is to try to stop a construction push, as well as to stop the wall between the main hall of those back stairs and the church triple wall. But either way, we're going to have to get underway here and take a look. We will not see a Rook on the starting lineup for the defensive side, though. It looks like they're going to go with a Doc instead. And as always, we will see a Valkyrie and a Jaeger. And Pulse looks like he might be taking the position of one or two of the operators. But as we get underway here, let's take a quick look at Doc. So Doc, as everyone knows, during 4.2 a few weeks back, was buffed to the point where he was now able to heal teammates rather than just revive them. And I think that's why he's gotten kind of a little bit more leeway, a little bit more chosen, a little bit more popular than Rook. More teams are starting to implement a no-Rook meta, choosing Doc instead, or possibly not even going with either of those 2-3 armored operators. But here we are, we will see a Doc to begin the round. And looks as though this is that wall I was talking about with the mute jammers, possibly mute jamming this triple wall that Crisco's at, and also using the mute jammers on the construction wall. Now, I believe it was last week we saw a shield, 3 mute jammers, and an ADS or 2 inside of that church hallway by the church doors, trying to prevent any kind of push from there. And the one time that they didn't actually go for the church, they ended up pushing, pushing through the construction. Now, I was really hoping that C4 was not going to blow early and kill one of their own teammates. So luckily for Team Vitality, they had the pizzazz to stop and not kill their own teammates. But moving on over to Blackbeard, let's take a quick look at him as he pushes in towards the garage. Going to knock out the camera and work his way down the stairs where we will typically see the Blackbeard pushing in through the garage tunnel. Moving on over to Tansaro. Now it looks like he might be upstairs on the platform, going to drone out above bar and push his way in from the top, working his way down. Max is over here inside of the bar. Going to get rid of possibly the camera, possibly a barbed wire or so, utilizing the EMP charge. And he's got to be weary because sometimes there's C4 underneath his floor. Now, if they've been able to drone it out or possibly blow it up with the Ash charge right there, they might feel a little bit more secure walking across the wooden floor. And we also see Cypher here right next to Hopback as he gets the drop hatch. And Blackbeard coming down the garage tunnel gets the first kill onto FRSG. And Doc not getting back up from that headshot. Pulse also taking quite a bit of damage as he fights Ash right in the kitchen floorway. Crisco's now just going to utilize his heartbeat sensor, waiting for someone to push down those back stairs. And going to get a little bit of intel here, but not too much. Anthrax holding off the push from garage tunnel as Blackbeard's going to be pushing and droning it through. Now the hole in the wall might cause a little bit of havoc there for Anthrax because now he's got to look up to his left and his right. But as we get underway, we have a minute 15 left to go in the round, a 4 versus 5 at the moment. And we're gonna have a quick push here down in just a moment. Now we just saw Pulse, he's down by the church wall, he's gonna get some feed on who's gonna be above bar through the drop hatch of motorcycle and who's gonna be down the back stairwell. And this is just where he's gonna sit till the push finally comes. He knows one dropped, looks like he's gonna be staying inside a motorcycle. I believe that was Thatcher playing Max. Now, this is gonna be the angle Max holds as Thermite drops, and he might move on over to the left and get the wall. Or he might just try to push on in. But the nade will come out, and it looks like Hopback might be killed by the nade. We saw it there in a trade from Crisco and Hopback. Now there are going to be some bullets flying from Lion, and he will be finished off. With that, Cypher's able to push on in, get one kill, tries to fight Anthrax, and will get the kill, and it will be Hopback getting double the kills. I'm sorry, Cypher getting doubles, and Hopback getting the final kill onto Crisco. So there it is, Cypher getting that double kill, one onto Jaeger, moves on into Armory, and finishes off Valkyrie. So here we are, round 2. Round 1 went to E-Punks. Very strong attack there. They didn't wait to the last minute second like we've seen some teams, some strats utilize, and I think that worked out for them the best because a lot of times when you get down to those last few seconds, you start making split-second decisions, and oftentimes those aren't the best decisions made. So luckily they were able to get the upper hand they needed, push on in, make a good, hard, strong push, and finished off the defenders. Now it's going to be Vitality's turn to try to turn that around, get themselves a win, because as we know, the bottom bomb site is one of the defender-favored bomb sites of this map. And to have the attackers win first round is going to give E-Punks a great starting shot to take home the first point on this matchup. Now, what I like taking a look at the drones from time to time, figuring out what kind of intel the attackers are going to get starting off on the round. Now, Lion's over here inside a garage. This is a typical drone spot to have, maybe not exactly here, but somewhere inside a garage, seeing if someone might be trying to peek out towards Kennel. And you can see Valkyrie just got out of the line of sight of Lion before he got his drone in place. We're also taking a look over here at FRSG. He's making sure no one's going to come into the stripper hall. And that's good because a lot of times people will push from the stripper side and they'll just run right in, not really aware if there's going to be someone in there or not. Luckily, FRSG hopped right back on the drone, was able to determine no one got into stripper. They've already cleared out that portion of the map. Bios is able to push on in quite early as Crisco pushes in from the garage entrance point outside by Kennels. Thermite's going to hold on to the fuser as he finishes droning out. Now that I like. I like having a drone up there on the side of that column. Going to give a nice line of sight downstairs towards that hallway. But as we move on over, let's take a quick look. Valkyrie got a little bit of a boost from Doc as she pushes on into the motorcycle memorial hall to put up one more camp. Lots of gunfire going out. I think it might just be some murder holes, because they got to get something open if they want to keep an eye on the garage hall. Now the drop hatch in stock has already been opened up, inside a bar. And right there, that's going to be a nice angle line. Tony might see Pulse. He sees him, but Pulse gets out of the way with barely any scratches. I think he scathed nothing on that little engagement. Taking a look over at Blackbeard, he's now just getting into garage, going to push on down through the tunnel like he normally does. Not always, but normally. And Bios sitting right inside of the main hallway, right above the hallway downstairs. With that, he's able to spot that only Pulse is inside of Arsenal at the moment. Didn't spot Cypher, though, around the corner. So with that, Bios feels a little bit comfortable moving on up, but Pulse could get the upper hand here because he does have a heartbeat sensor and will be able to spot Bios right here. Just got to look a little bit to the right. There he goes. Sees him. He's going to get that C4 ready. Potentially gets it. No, Bios backs up into the freezer just with enough time. I believe we see Thermite downstairs here. At the bottom of the main stairs, gets on his drone. No, I'm sorry, he's still in bar. Might have been Capital. So Capital's down here on the bottom. Blackbeard's down here at the back stairs. Cypher's trying to get the little bit of an angle peek. Sees Blackbeard, nicks him a bit to drop him, but Blackbeard ultimately gets the final shots onto Jaeger because he just can't land him through the little pixel angle there. Great job by FRSG. Doesn't even have the shield on his face. Ready to just push on in at a moment's notice. Taking a look, one more look here at Max. He pushes on in because he picks up Ash, who moved in, got down, and will be also killed by Doc. There's Lion falling. Anthrax as well getting hot pack. Max with the trade from the pistol onto Crisco. It's now a 3-on-3, 35 seconds left to go in the round, but Pulse is drastically hurt here down in the Arsenal room. Moving on over to Blackbeard, he's pushing on up. Not quite sure whether or not he's ready to make the final push as he looks on over to the left. Anthrax has to drop through the motorcycle hatch, but he's gonna feel the beat of Tansaro and Max. Doc is over here inside of church. He finally picked up the kill on Anthrax. It is all up to Blackbeard. Gonna go for the deagle. Can he get one? No, Tansaro's there to finish him off and get the win for E-Punks, leading now 2-0. Good, strong defense here by E-Punks, taking that to the next level, making sure that they've got the upper hand at the start of this series. So as we get underway in round number 3 here, E-Punks is going to go for another attack round, and it looks like they might be leading towards, or going towards the bottom, seeing as how Vitality did not win that first defensive round. And we will see that. The Church in the Arsenal room downstairs, same lineup as before, Doc, Jaeger, Mute, Pulse, and Valkyrie. We're going to have to see Vitality change something up if they want to get the win here and start trying to make this more in their favor. But unfortunately, though, it looks like Tansaro gets DC'd, and we might just spot our first disconnect and remake of the day, unfortunately. So with that, E-Punks is going to back out, and we'll be back in a moment here. But those first 2 rounds from E-Punks, just gorgeous. I mean, you saw some really strong defense and attack strategies and pushes from E-Punks, and unfortunately, Team Vitality just wasn't able to hold up their end of the bargain, hold up their end of the deal, and E-Punks just steamrolled that defensive round at the end that we saw. So guys, we're going to cut to a quick break. We'll be back in a moment once we get this lobby remade, everyone back in party, so we can finish off Playday number 7 for the European Pro League here on Xbox. Have a great time. Come right back. Welcome back, everybody. We're here, Playday number 7, first series of tonight between ePunks GG and Team Vitality. We are underway in map number 1 here on Clubhouse, with ePunks GG taking the first 2 rounds to make it 2-0 right now here against Vitality. Now, Vitality's got one more chance, or a couple more chances, I guess, to try to hold downstairs here in the basement. It is going to be the Church and Arsenal room for Vitality to hold. They were unsuccessful the first round. ePunks had a very good push coming in from the bottom stairs and the motorcycle drop hatch, as well as Blackbeard. And I think we're going to see something very similar. We do have the same exact operators for both sides. And I think Team Vitality is going to have a little bit of a hard time unless they can manage to comprehend what didn't go right that first round. And immediately we're going to see Doc going right to that construction tunnel, but for some reason we've got 4 defenders already going all upstairs, not reinforcing anything downstairs just yet. So I think this might be a hard lurk here, a hard roam, having possibly 3 or 4 roamers upstairs, and maybe this is exactly what they need to try and stop that push from ePunks. But as I say that, Valkyrie and Pulse will move downstairs, as well as Mute, and Lion's going to be the last one upstairs with 10 seconds left to go. Tries to see if he gets a drone from firing inside of the shelving there. But ultimately will come back downstairs, back to base, and finish reinforcing what he hasn't done already.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
So looking at the attackers, we can see that for the majority of them, looks like they started outside by kennels. We see Cypher and Brian. I'm sorry, Brian and I believe that was Ash. Let's take a look over at Ash, who went back up top Tansaro. Now he's going to drone out, clear out top floor once again. Now this is where you could easily, as an attacker, drone this out at the start. Get your drone up top and just easily clear out the top part, like we saw, I believe it was Blackbeard do last time ePunks was attacking. They had already cut off Stripper. They had their drone at the doorway, said, okay, no one got past through prep phase. You get back on your drone right away, and you can now say no one got in there at the very start of the round. So that's what you could easily do from an attack standpoint to try and clear upstairs, so you don't need to waste precious time trying to clear those top floors. Now, in the Pro League, we typically will almost never see a lurker upstairs because it is quite easy to get caught and be cleared out and pinched, but you still have to make sure it's clear before you make any assumptions and push on in. But seeing as how they have cleared it successfully, Max is going to get into the garage, possibly just place the Claymore there, waiting for the push, for the lurk, for the flank. And with that, Cypher's just going to watch Halfback as he opens up the drop hatch, gets his drone down inside of the motorcycle hatch, and will almost be mute jammed. Lion's just putting down one more ADS, so we take a look over at him inside of Church with Pulse. And Crisco's just going to be getting more intel, taking a look. Is there going to be someone on top of the motorcycle hatch? He spots 2 of them, but no one has dropped just yet. Taking a look over here at Ash, she now is not upstairs anymore. She's going to be in the main hallway by kitchen floor. I'm going to open that up, try and scare any of that, anyone who might be down there. Now there's a great charge by Tansaro, pre-opening that wall, and that's going to be able to allow Blackbeard to push in should he need to. Now this is a very good angle Brian's got here. He's covered from the right side. All he has to do is just watch the left, and hopefully he might get a greedy peek and be able to kill somebody. Now Lion's still inside of the church here, along with Bios is on the other side. Now this is where Brian was just holding that angle, right towards the Arsenal room where we see right here. So taking a look at Brian, he's going to get on his drone now. Just, there he goes, he will spot Bios. So now he knows I'm going to keep holding this angle. Spots him and picks off the headshot. Great job by Brian, but we also have Pulse right on the other side of this wall. There is Doc trying to make an aggressive peek back from the Arsenal room. He's going to feel a little bit of damage from that. And we're going to have a push in very closely here as they're going to get the incendiary grenades off onto that doorway. They're going to push on in. Blackbeard moves on into Arsenal room, and he's going to try to get Doc from the side swipe. There's Valkyrie, gets 1. That's going to be his 2nd kill of the round. Crisco also picks off a shotgun shell onto the face of one of the attackers. Moving on over here to Hopek. He's dropped inside from kitchen. And he spots Doc's feet, downs him, and picks off the kill. No, that's Brian stealing the kill. That's 3 kills for him. Can he get the ace? Because it's all up to Lion and all up to Crisco. Crisco's now inside of the church. He's going to push on into Arsenal. Cypher, though, going to deny the ace from Blackbeard, and Crisco's going to be the last defender alive here as the diffuser gets planted. Hopek's going to take a look. He doesn't spot his head. He's just going to oversee him for right now. Crisco, though, moving up nice and closely. Hopek does get down and killed. He gets the 2nd kill. It is now all a one-on-one. Plenty of time, though, to get that final kill. Cypher just barely doesn't see him. Headshots will be missed by Pulse. Now it's all up to Pulse. He's going to start defusing. Cypher needs to push on in. He sees him, lands some bullets, but just can't get the shots off. He's got to get it down. He's got moments to go. Cypher with very little health. Same with Pulse. He will down him, and now Pulse is going to get the defuse down in time. Plenty of time to kill this diffuser. And it's going to be the 3-1 clutch here by Crisco. Very nice job. And that's going to be Vitality getting their first win of the round. Amazing job here by Crisco. Utilizing that shotgun, taking out the Blackbeard and Thermite in the back of Arsenal, and then just playing peekaboo with Capital and finishing him off to just get that clutch. Very nice job. And that's what we're expecting to see here in the Pro League, is you might be down 2-0, but you've decided enough's enough and you're starting to come back, and that's the momentum I think Team Vitality needed to try to get things back underway here. And I think that momentum is going to carry throughout this round and possibly futures. And maybe that's all they needed, just a little disconnect to regroup and say, you know what? Let's get this show back on the road, because that definitely appeared to have helped them. Now, taking a look on E-Punk's side, because they won the basement, they're going to have to go to the bar and stock room. And that's typically concerned or seen as the less favorable of those two bomb sites between the basement here and the bar. So we'll have to see if they can hold it off. Now, the defenders, E-Punks, we're going to have to see. I mean, they have had success on this map in this bomb site before, but I think Team Vitality, being undefeated, a 3-0 on this map, I think they've got their strats underway to figure out just how to get the win here. And as I say that, we're going to take a look. We've got Crisco's drone inside, same spot as it was last time, inside a garage. And we're going to spot Bio's drone. Bio's drone was outside of the main doorwell into the bar. And that's just going to give him an idea of who might be pushing over, who's inside a garage, who's inside of the lobby. Now, keeping an eye here on Jaeger. Jaeger's actually upstairs, it looks like, going to get the drop hatch above pool table. Now, typically if you're going to get this drop hatch, you will, as a defender, will not be playing up here. And what that basically says to the attackers is, okay, we're going to need to utilize a Thermite to get that opened. But again, that's going to be extra precious time where Thermite won't be inside a stripper or inside of the garage opening up some of the walls. But seeing as how Cypher's going to stay up here, making a lot of noise, but Capital is going to shoot in through the windows. However, he doesn't realize that Cypher's on the other side, the other top, and he almost turns his back to him in a negative fashion. But with that, I think Valkyrie's also in top of church, so maybe that's who's drawing the attention. And there it is. Bios will spot Valkyrie, and you're going to see some bullets possibly fly through the window here. That's who Capital is all trying to get killed up here. Now, he's quite distracted. We do have Jaeger, I believe, still on the other side. He's managed to open up. He might spot Capital. He sees him, lands some bullets, finally gets him down and finishes him off. Some great communication and teamwork between Valkyrie and Cypher. And that's what you need to do. Get one person in each of those tops, play cat and mouse until you distract one so much you can get the behind the shot right onto him. Great job. Now Crisco's going to try to make his attempt at getting Hotback. Now the wall's been opened up. Hotback doesn't quite know where to go, where to turn to. He's in here, going to look, possibly Valkyrie realizing I probably should not fight that. That's an Ash, and Blackbeard's shortly there to come after. Ash is going to make a push on in. Doesn't spot Valkyrie though, and Thermite though, taking quite a bit of damage, but will finish off the shots onto Hotback, but the Capcan trap finishes off Anthrax. And there's going to be the trade that Capcan wanted as it becomes a 4-on-3 at 60 seconds left to go in the round. FRSG's going to try to make the push, decides he's better back off. Taking a look at Capcan, he's inside of the bomb site here. Nade will go in, but the ADS will stop it, deny the charge. And there's going to be where Tansaro sits. Cypher, though, has managed to get downstairs. He's now looking at the doorway towards Lion. Not going to get the shots off just yet. Very small angle. He just sees him as he turns away. He decides to go back to it. Couple bullets will go towards Lion, but will not land just yet. Brian, however, inside by the jukebox, looking at the main stairwell, or the main lobby, into bar. Max is covering the flank, looking towards kitchen, as 30 seconds are underway. FRSG here, coming in from garage. Crisco is also going to make his way in. I think Capcan is going to try to get the shots. He almost gives away his position, tries to fight one. He gets the shots off. Cypher, though, gets Crisco. Max is able to pick off Lion. It is now a 4-on-1 with Blackbeard, the last one alive. He's going to try to push on in, but Capcan is there to get the kill, and that's going to be E-Punks. 3-1 right now, holding down the bar and stock room for round 4. Great job here by E-Punks. Very nice to see. Very nice job by all the defenders here. So taking a look, we are going to see the bomb site go upstairs. Vitality won that bottom bomb site the last time they were here on defense, so we are going to see it go not all the way upstairs, unfortunately. Looks like it's going to be the bar and stockroom. The upstairs meta has not formed yet. But what we have seen on some other Pro League teams has been a Montane meta that, especially on this top, or this bomb site here, we've seen a Montane make a push in from the kennels to the stockroom and try to get someone to plant behind them. And that has worked once or twice here in the Pro League. Looks like we won't see it this round, possibly another. But I've got faith that it's viable in both Xbox and PC. We have seen it in PC. I would like to see it here on Xbox because I think we can get some teams utilizing some different strats and possibly getting them to work for themselves. But there's going to be Anthrax utilizing the C4, opening up the wall at the top. Now, what that's going to allow, or what that will be used for eventually later on, is to make a push between both top bomb sites. They can rotate around and get the flank easily. Now, what they're probably thinking is that ePunks is going to try to go from the stripper side, get the pool opened up, the pool wall, and take over top floor above bar. And if they do that, let's take a quick look over here. If they're able to get inside a bar here, this is that drop hatch that they're going to try to open up right above pool. This wall that was opened up is going to allow the defenders to come up through garage, through cash room, open up this window, and run in here without being detected. That's the other way that you're able to get around if the attackers have already secured the top floor here. So that's what you can see and expect from the defenders. Now, as we say that, we're going to have two defenders, looks as though, zero defenders all the way up top. Jaeger might be headed over there. He is. So he's all the way up here. He might pre-open that window soon, but Capital gets the first kill onto Crisco as Pulse is just being a little bit too aggressive there inside of the stripper hall. And this is the push that they were expecting from ePunks. Drones are going to come out, get some intel. It's called no one behind the bar just yet. But did the wall even get reinforced? Taking a look over here, it doesn't appear to be so. The wall will get opened up. Sledge is going to say, I can use this. We don't need to waste our thermite on it. Nades are going to go down, break the barbed wire. And as we say that, Tansaro is going to take control of this top floor. Now, this is what we were talking about earlier. If the attackers get control of this top floor, oh, and he gets a little bit aggressive, makes some noise. Capital hears it from the garage and just picks off Bio. Tansaro at the top of the kitchen will pick off Anthrax, and that's not looking good here for Team Vitality. If ePunks win this, they will go to match point, and now it's up to a 4-on-2 with a minute 30 left to go. Bandits on the bottom of those stairs. Ash is going to try to make a push here as he is at the top of the stairs. Now, this is good. Very smart of Tansaro. He's able to see if he's going to move downstairs. If not, Tansaro knows he's on the left. It's all up to Bandit and Smoke. Now, Bandit's going to try to make a push. Tansaro, though, just cannot land the shots. Lion able to pick off a triple kill here. It's now a 2-on-2. Two has led to 1-on-1. He's going to get the shots, and it's going to be Team Vitality. Lion with a 4K, getting the clutch for his team, not getting match point there for ePunks. Great job. I'm not quite sure why Blackbeard had to turn around, but that was perfect timing by Lion. Great job. It was just a masterful attempt by Lion coming up from the stairs, catching the off-guard Ash, who just was like, do I make a push? Do I go back? Caught her off guard, pushed on down, got Thermite, who was trying to make the plant. Blackbeard, unfortunately, turned his back at the wrong time, and it was just Bandit moving in for the Hail Mary, and his prayers were answered with the 4K there. Great job. And we see Lion now going with a different operator, one that we have seen on Clubhouse before, but have not seen much of in the Pro League this year, and that's going to be Fuse. So Lion pulling off the 4K, he's now going to go with Fuse, and what you might see him try to do, I would expect to Fuse more so on a top bar and stockroom bomb hold rather than this bomb hold downstairs in the basement, for the simple reason that the only place that Fuse will be useful, for the most part, is going to be in this section of the map. Now, it's either going to be to clear out this hallway, as we're taking a look here. It's going to be used to clear out the hallway here, right by kitchen, or he's actually going to be risky and open up the kitchen floor to try to allow Thermite to get the drop hatch opened up. Now, this is a risky move because you have all of this ground that can be covered by Pulse. He's going to know if someone's there. He's going to be able to utilize his heartbeat sensor and detect if someone's right above him. So it's a risky move if you're going to go for that push inside the kitchen. I think the better option might be to head right here and put your fuse charge right at the foot line of these stairs. You blow it up, that's going to maybe not get inside a church, but it will definitely make the defenders double think about pushing this doorway here and try to shoulder peek for the entrance point. So with that, we are going to see a little bit of late reinforcements here from the defenders, which is though they're going to finish getting that church wall. But Cypher with a nice peek here from, I believe that is the, looks like it might be the arsenal room, towards the motorcycle. Yes, great angle there. So we might be seeing that be put to use later on here in the round. Taking a look at Anthrax. We are underway here in the attack phase, so Anthrax is going to be playing the Thermite, going to push into bar, probably open up the stock, or sorry, not the stock drop. He's going to open up the bar drop hatch. They've already cleared out main floor. They've cleared out upstairs. They're very effective, or very efficient with their droning. Both of these teams are. So with that, Anthrax does get the bar drop opened up right above motorcycle. That's going to allow them to push down the main stairs without having too much resistance. But we will see the stock drop also get opened up by the garage hallway. Brian getting intel for his team, being on the cameras, he realizes, all right, the drop hatches are being opened up. It's time to get off the cams and get ready for a push. Now, the smoke grenades are going to go down, but no push is going to happen just yet. Taking a look over here at Ash. She's now going to get her drone downstairs inside a motorcycle, push on in with it, and try to spot who might be there. Now, I like the use of that smoke. It's not to make a push from the attackers. It's to allow their drones to get in place. He spots Brian behind the bomb site. He's got to make the assumption that there's one more inside a church, at least one more behind the wall. So with that, Crisco's going to drop, and I would expect him to make a quick push in here. He's going to go for the shots, but doesn't land them, and it's going to be Doc getting one, Hopback getting the other, and that's going to be the attackers just trying to make too much of an aggressive push. Brian being very effective. Nice job. And that's going to be E-Punks might be taking home the, not the wins just yet, but Black Bear trying to fight Tansaro on the other side of the generator. Thermite's going to drop, but will be downed and killed by Cypher, holding the trade. And right there, it is now all up to the last two Vitality members, FRSG and Lion. Now Fuse is downstairs in the motorcycle, going to push on in, but he's got nowhere to utilize the Fuse charges. He's already utilized them, it looks like, but he's going to push on in. Valkyrie's going to be low, though. He will get the shots here in just a moment. He pushes on in, lands the shotgun shells onto his feet, finishes him off. FRSG is going to try to make a push in here with the stun grenade, but Tansaro's there, but feels the wrath of the FRSG headshot. And there's going to be one shield down, throws on the other head shield with 15 seconds left to go. Going to try to wall bang, will not get the win here, unfortunately. Diffuser's on the other side of the wall. He still has 3 more to kill as a a negative 1 speed operator, because with his shield on, he is super slow. And with that, it will be Brian picking off the kill on to Blackbeard. Making it 4-2 here for E-Punks. It is now match point on the first map of this series today for Playday number 7. Now, I'll remind you, Playday number 7, this is the last Playday for the Pro League season. The last Playday. Today, the end of these matches today will decide who goes to LAN, who comes to Poland to take a shot at their part of that prize pool. I believe it's $150,000 between Xbox and PC. So these matches today are going to decide who goes there and who we might be seeing here in Poland. And again, those matches will take place on November 12th and November 13th in Katowice, right here in this studio. So as we get underway here in the prep phase, we are going to see, again, 4 defenders just getting all the way to the top. I think what they're trying to do, they realize that they've got time to do reinforcements down towards the end, or towards the beginning part of the attack phase. So what I think they're just trying to do is get as many people at the top as possible, get rid of as many cams as possible, because a lot of times the drones aren't in place. So they're trying to destroy the attackers' drones so they get as little information as possible. And I think that's a strat that we don't necessarily see from a lot of defensive teams. A lot of teams will just put up their reinforcements, let the drones do their stuff, but here they are actively going out and searching and seeking for those drones. And that's something that a lot of attackers aren't necessarily expecting. A lot of teams realize that, hey, it takes a lot of time to set up all of your defense. So when they see someone coming upstairs towards their drone, they're probably thinking, okay, they're going to go towards a drop hatch. But instead, Vitality's like, we're actually going to seek your drones. We're going to kill them as soon as we see them. I think it's a smart move. Let's see if it pays off for him, because right now it's not looking too good. Vitality down by 2 and 4-2 right now. And here's Cypher, gets his drone into the garage, pushes on in upstairs into the cash room and CCTV room. Now again, this can be easily done beforehand. This is a late drone. you're already 45 seconds into the round when immediately you should know it's fully cleared. With that, Brian is able to open up the door, push on downstairs into the garage hallway, and Cypher's going to finish droning for him. Now here's that little angle peek, that little pixel angle he's holding, making sure no one's going to peek through it.
Attackers have located
So Brian's very cautious of that. He's gotten a kill through it before. Let's see if he's able to hold it off once more. Taking a quick look at the defensive setup. We've got three inside of Arsenal, 2 inside of Church. They're all on site, playing a 3-2 split here in the bomb sites. Hoppack, though, his drone is coming in from the motorcycle hatch. Not going to go all the way into Church just yet. Going to hold it off. But the drop hatches, you can hear the rumble of the screen. It is now opening up. We have, I believe that is bar drop hatch getting opened up here. It looks as though Kitchen might be next. We see Thermite moving over to it. He's waiting. And Bios right there. Let's see if he throws the C4. He knows someone's there. He just doesn't feel comfortable throwing the C4. Oh, he's actually out of the C4. He must have used it already to make the hole to his left. But with that, Kitchen drop hatch gets opened up. He's now got to retreat. Valkyrie, though, holding a nice angle and also just trying to avoid being seen herself. Blackbeard, though, from the tunnel is able to get the shots onto Bios, who just wasn't paying too much attention. So Brian's realized he's done his job, caused a little bit of distraction, caused a little bit of chaos. He's now able to get out of there, push around towards the main stairs, where the rest of his team will definitely need him as we get underway with 45 seconds left to go. Now, Valkyrie might be seen here. Hoppack's looking for the shots. He spots the chest of Jaeger, but doesn't land it. But he will hurt Valkyrie quite a lot. Down here, Valkyrie's down to 2, 4, maybe 10 health. And Jaeger picks off one shot onto here. Tansaro. Cypher, though, drops pictures off Lion. Anthrax gets the shots onto Cypher, and Hoppack will get the trade, with Crisco being one of the last defenders alive. FRSG's looking down towards the tunnel. That's where Blackbeard made the correct move. He got the distraction, made Doc look over there. Crisco, though, tries to come in for the flank, just cannot land it. It is now all up to FRSG, but 10 seconds left to go. Diffuser has not been planted. Brian's got to push on in. 5 seconds. Doc has to move on in, and Brian doesn't have time to go for the kill. He's got to get Diffuser. FRSG is going to move on in. Defenders will win, and it will be Team Vitality getting the win because of the lack of time. Blackbeard just tried to play cat and mouse and just did not get the mouse. There it is. Team Vitality not ready to give up just yet, a 4-3. So, as we take a look, Team Vitality not ready to give up. E-Punk's still here, though, in the lead, 4-3. They still are on match point. If they can win this bar and stockroom hold here on defense, they are definitely going to secure 1 point this round, at least 1 point, and we'll get on to the second match. Now, what I liked seeing last time here from this upstairs bomb hold was the Capcan trap. The Capcan trap put his trap there on the little closet right by Kennels. Take a quick look over here. The Kennels room, this little office. Now, Thermite, I believe it was, Thermite or Ash had gotten a kill inside of this lobby, but then moved on over into this doorway to try to get some cover, and the Capcan trap just blew him up, finished him off, and unfortunately, it didn't work out for him. So seeing another Capcan makes me think that we might get to see 1 or 2 more Capcan kills here, but we will be underway in about 15 seconds for the attack phase. Now, they aren't reinforcing the pool wall into Stripper. They're actually going to open it all the way up and potentially hold inside of here. Let's take a quick look at who just might be here, as we have Bandit and Doc. A little bit of a different combination being in here. Normally we'll see possibly a Castle and a Pulse, or possibly a Bandit and a Pulse, but to see Doc makes me think that he might be trying to do this solo. And I see Max is over here. He's going to come back and make a push, hold it down with his buddy. But Jaeger gets the early shots here on the Capital with the drastic headshot, and I tell you, right next to Blackbeard, Capital is the one that you want to keep alive for the highest duration on the round. Now, seeing as how that's not the case, Team Vitality's not starting off here on a good note. We do have Jaeger, who's playing these bottom stairs. Now, last time it was Lion on Team Vitality that was playing these bottom stairs and got the 4K, the 3-1 clutch there at the very end. So we're going to have to see if Cypher might be taking one of Lion's out of the playbook. But as we say that, IQ goes down for the count, and it's now a 5-on-3, still 2/3 of the round remaining. Now FRSG is going to be outside of the pool table window, but he's crossfired right now. The wall is opened up. You've got you've got Doc and Bandit there, and we're going to have Valkyrie Hoppack looking through the main doors, able to land a few shots under FRSG, spooks him a bit for him to back up. Crisco, though, going to try to push on into the stock or into the stripper hall. Brian, though, tries to land it. Anthrax also getting shot, but there it is. Brian going to use his stim charges, but peeks from Ash will finish him off. However, Max is able to get the trade, and now it's all up to Thermite and Blackbeard. Here it is. Max tries to get the second kill, lands the headshot. It is now all up to FRSG, a 4-on-1. This is going to have to be the clutch of the century for FRSG and the rest of Team Vitality if they want to go into overtime. If not, it's going to be ePunk's GG getting the first point of today's series, winning the map on Clubhouse. Tensaro just holding the soft angle. FRSG just barely sees him, just doesn't get any shots off as he un-ADS's. Now keeping a close eye behind him, he realized that someone might try to flank from behind, pop out the window. And we might just see that here as we do see Jaeger pushing on over to the stairs. Now this is where he's going to come for the flank if Blackbeard doesn't make a move here shortly. Capcan's calling him out, saying he's by the front door, but now he's moved his way all the way in. Hotpack though, can he land the shot? Just not yet, and it will be Capcan coming around the corner as it is distraction by Valkyrie. And there it is, Tensaro getting the final kill. ePunk's GG. Just annihilating most of those rounds, just dominating them. Great job by ePunks. So with that, that's going to be the first map going to ePunks. They have at least got 1 point for tonight. So let's take a look at some of those highlights that we just saw, because these were some great rounds coming out of ePunks for this Playday number 7. So here it is. There's that double kill by Cypher, coming in, getting the shots onto the church, and then finishing off Valkyrie there. Now Max was able to down one, finishes off the other. What a nice job here by Max, but I don't think it went all of his way. Now, here's the shots by Brian. There's going to be Anthrax just pushing in a little bit too much. Brian, however, another round, another attempt. He gets the shots. There's one, and there was another. And that's going to be Thermite finishing off Doc as he pushes around from the lockers. And this is Cypher's peak. This is where that Valkyrie and the Jaeger had great communication, great teamwork upstairs. This is that final kill, or not the final kill, Tensaro though, getting Ash on that hold. And we'll also finish off Blackbeard right there. So great job by the Capcan. Now this is that kill from Lion. He got the Ash on the stairs, pushed on in, got the kill from Thermite, and also got Blackbeard. That was the 4K for Bandit there. So great job by Lion. There's going to be the destroyed shield as he goes to face off Mute. Mute finding the end of his bullets. Tell you, these were just amazing to watch. Some really great, entertaining shows, some rounds to play. So, with that, we are going to have to take a quick break while we get everyone back in lobby for the next game, which is going to be played on Bank. So stick with us, guys. We'll be right back after a few short messages. Hello and welcome back, everybody. And as you can see, we are casted here with another individual here, Mr. Devin Becker. Emzo, how you doing, dude?
Good. I caught a bit of that game there. That was definitely like E-Punk's playing really well.
Yep.
Vitality playing well sometimes.
Yeah.
But like that was definitely a good start to this.
I think they had a little bit of momentum. I mean, E-Punks took those first 2 rounds, but then Team Vitality came back with a very nice clutch there to make it 2-1, and I thought that momentum was going to carry onward.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, it just didn't turn out for them. But
they put in some effort, though.
They did. So, with that, we do have everyone here in lobby. We are here on Bank for the map number 2 between the 2 teams here, E-Punks and Team Vitality. This is Playday number 7, with the winner of this either securing 3 points or both teams going to secure 1.
I have a feeling there's a chance this could be Vitality's map.
Yes.
In the sense that they managed to tie this up. We could see a 1-1 here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this is Team Vitality's map. I think they are strong on it. I, again, wasn't expecting E-Punks to do so well against Team Vitality on Clubhouse. I mean, we saw at the beginning, we were talking about the maps and the bans and the rosters. Team Vitality was undefeated on Clubhouse 3-0. So the fact that E-Punks was able to just showcase him on that, I think shows E-Punks has been working long and hard on some of their maps.
The question is Bank one of those?
We'll have to see. We will have to see here. Now, we are going to have E-Punks using the same, very similar defensive operators that we saw there on Clubhouse. However, it looks like we might see Pulse and Doc. I mean, we have seen those.
But the no Rook Doc, though.
The no Rook Doc. See, I'm curious the role that Bandit's going to play in here. Now, we've seen Bandit utilized, especially when it's that bottom bomb site being held by the server. We've seen him, we move on over here, utilize his charges to put him on the wall here. Now, if you put the charge or put one of the Bandit batteries on this wall, it can easily be destroyed from the doorway here.
Yeah.
You put it on this wall, okay.
They don't really want to blow that wall, right? It's not a big wall to blow regardless.
Yeah, I mean, you only need one of these walls blown to make an effective push from the attack side from servers into the A-bomb site. So,
yeah.
I'm not quite sure that Bandit would be the best choice. To me, now I love Smoke. Smoke is probably my favorite operator. I would rather have him here, just for the simple reason that you can toss from this red hall, you can toss a gas grenade, and just annihilate any kind of push there towards the very end.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's, I think, part of the reason why they want to blow that wall is to try and counter Smoke. But Smoke, as you said, is so powerful, and that is very similar to the Oregon Stairs push into Laundries. It's just, he can stall it, or at least punish them when they manage to start putting the plant down. But Bandit is a great gun, so there is that as well. Tensar could just be, try to play it for the gun and throw down the batteries for fun. Maybe even throw them into barbed wire. It's not necessarily a bad idea if they can't drone effectively as a choke point in there.
Yeah, and Ash Crisco had been downstairs in the tunnel, realized that, hey, it might be a little bit too much of an aggressive push. I don't want to do it myself, so he decides to back out and come on back in through the main lobby with Capital.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And as I say that, he actually rotated way over and going to go down through Garage on the opposite side here.
You got to feel pretty confident to walk through that lobby like that. That is one of the hardest parts about Bank, is approaching through the lobby without being like 100% sure that top's clear. Similar to Fireplace and Chalet.
Yeah, I learned early on that I'm not a fan of going through the main triple doors. I always like going on top of Garage, coming in through the loan office.
Yeah, loan office is definitely better, especially if you're Sledge, because you can open up a nice pathway down towards the stairs or...
Yeah, down towards the elevator hallway. But there's Cypher picking up the first kill. I tell you, Sledge probably wasn't expecting that. Sledge is normally known for making an entryway that is not typical.
Yeah.
And he might have actually just caught Cypher off guard, and Cypher with a flick was able to get the kill, though.
Now, Ash opened up that door. I'm a bigger fan of opening up the wall to the right of that with Thermite, but you do need Thermite to get over there to do that because you get more access to the red hallway, which is generally the counter to server push. But it looks like Valkyrie just runs right past the door there.
Yeah, she was on cam and spotted Ash, and she's going to get hot back on here. Potentially see that, but Bios, though, his drone gets destroyed. Right there's Capital, but will be annihilated by Hotpack. Here comes Hotpack going right back into the corner between both doorways by the bottom stairs and the garage. It's now a 5-on-3. E-Punks, though, very strong again here on this Bank map.
These solo pushes are really costing them. They've already lost 2 of their strong operators.
Agreed. And so, I mean, here you can see FRSG is going to try to wall bang the wall here. Just isn't quite sure whether or not he should give away his position just yet. But there's Hotpack. He sees the tip of the gun.
He's got to hear that drone, too.
He's got to hear it. So FRSG tries to get his drone in. Ooh, and right there, she goes for the push.
Baited him out.
And Anthrax is able to pick off the kill as Blackbeard lands the bait down onto Valkyrie.
I love that use of the drone.
Very
Just
nice.
Go ahead and chase the mouse, see what happens.
Yep. And all it was just a little bit of communication to make that kill shine. And here's FRSG now, ready to push on in, but still not quite sure if he should do it all the way. Brian, however, just needs to look to his left. There's Tansaro getting Anthrax as he drops through the Teller drop. But it will be Crisco coming down the stairs, able to get the shots onto Cypher. And now it's all up to Blackbeard because to Ash just got it killed as well. Now he's going to push on in, tries to get the kill, but there it is with the pistol kill from Tansaro right onto Blackbeard. Not enough time to make all the kills and the plant
It's
as he
actually
needed.
a little hard to see him in that corner.
It
that
is, it
dark
is.
red color, and he just kind of I mean, maybe if he was like a Spetsnaz or something like Capcan, he blended even more. But that was a nice stealth kill in there.
See, that's also, I mean, that entire room is red as well as the hallway between both bomb sites. That's where I think a Capcan trap would shine.
Yeah, it's
They definitely wouldn't be expecting it. You come down to the last few seconds, they're just rushing in. So you put a Capcan trap with the red laser inside of a red room, it basically makes it invisible.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I like about placeable gadgets in this game is you get people like Capcan, Jaeger, Valkyrie that can really spend time thinking about where to place their gadgets and finding out the best ones per map, and then taking advantage of that. Like saying, hey, this laser in this spot's really hard to see, or is a place they're going to push common, things like that. But that does take a lot of practice and map knowledge, and you can't continually do it exactly the same or people will catch on.
Definitely.
But that was a great defense, but also a sloppy attack. Like the attackers attacking way too often solo. Like Blackbeard working together with his teammate worked to an extent, eventually losing his teammate. But that was the best part of their push.
You had Ash, who was solo in Garage. You had Thermite, who was on these stairs with Blackbeard, but came upstairs and dropped through the hatch here. He got picked off. You had Capital got picked off quite early on.
Yeah, they were offering
from Jaeger. I mean, it was just one after one after one.
Yeah.
And they're gonna have to work together. If you can't get the kill, you at least need to set yourself up to get the trade.
Yeah, trades are a big mantra for pro teams. You know, if you can get the trade, at least you're not at a numbers disadvantage. I mean, I guess attackers have a better advantage being on equal numbers, but it depends on the map and situation.
Yeah. But we are here underway in the attack phase now. Brian's got his drone. He's just going to say, all right, I've got overview of the entire lobby. Realizes that, okay, there might not be anyone here. But this is one of those maps that is not always a guarantee to have a 5-man onside defense. As we saw, Jaeger was able to pick off Capital early last game.
Yeah, we've seen some great roams up in CEO office, which, you know, is a great place to hide because there's a lot of space up there. But, of course, the good teams are going to drone it. It's not that hard to drone it fast. But you could be, like, tucked in the back of a janitor closet, for example, and they may not catch it.
Yep.
Now, they did bring a bandit, but they were smart, brought the smoke. But they also brought a frost. So obviously, they're planning on people kind of rushing in certain spots. I think the frost is a little more effective when there's a lot more window play, because it can be a little bit harder to see the frost trap and you jump in. But that's not to say there aren't good placements for it when people try and rush some of these spots here. Like you see him right there, placing that frost trap for a vault over the top of that thing or a run around it.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this frost trap. I would rather put one inside of the doorway here, because if you get the Thermite killed, they have to come through that doorway. They're going to wait till the last second and try to make a push in.
Well, yeah, when they blow it open, there's going to be a lot of debris and smoke, and they're going to push it in fast. And, yeah, exactly, just step on that trap, especially if you cover it with some barbed wire.
Now, we did see one of the defenders on the stairs here get droned out. They're going to actually utilize their nades for the ADS there, Capital and Sledge. 3 nades for the price of 1. Or I guess 1 nade for the price of 3.
Yeah, those ADSs can be finicky.
But as we say that, it looks as though he backed off the stairs, and it's just Frost now with the Super 90 inside of the server room.
I'm not sure that that's the best angle.
So I think what she might be trying to do now, this would work better if she might have already been droned out, but she could stay right behind that desk. A lot of people think that they're either in this corner or they're on the far side of the servers. So the fact that she was right behind the desk might have given her just that little split-second advantage when the push comes to shove. But there it is, Lion picking up 2 kills,
3 total.
Pistol and the MP7. However, it's just a trade left and right. As we're talking here, it's now a 3-on-1. Hopak is trying to push on in, go get the shots against FRSG, but some shots will come in through the wall and just narrowly miss Hopak. It's now all up to Hopak. 20 seconds left to go. He does have the diffuser in hand, though, but it will be Jaeger pushing in through the red hall, through the locker room, able to land the headshot right onto Hopak to finish him off. Vitality, though, taking their first round here.
Like he's shooting through the entire room from the red hallway, and that's why it's good to have those holes. I mean, obviously you need to protect your flank and make sure they don't get used against you, but giving yourself the ability to defend like both sides over there through holes in the wall definitely paid off. Not that he was going to do much, pinned into the desk there. Easy way to rotate through that vault and come around the other side, and he's not going to go anywhere with that many people left alive.
Yep, and so with that, it is 1-1. Each side securing their defensive round, which means we will see an upstairs hold. Now, whether or not that's going to be the very top, where we see here chosen, the executive LAN and CEO office,
Well,
or it might be down or main floor inside an open area or the teller's office.
CEO is definitely something we almost never see on Xbox. Or not Xbox, PC. I'm not sure if I think I've seen it once on Xbox here before. Might have been more often than that, but it is definitely a difficult hold. Not one that I recommend, but plays a little bit different on Xbox, so there are possibly, we've discussed before, vertical play can be a little more difficult, especially when it comes to the repelling all these windows and fighting all that. But that being said, they might have some good strategies for defending up here. You see how much they have to reinforce though, just the CEO room like as it is. So it takes a lot of defensive strength, and then you've still got all those windows to contend with. They are bringing a castle though.
One thing that I would like to see, and this is something I've tried out just in casual matches and just trying, hey, does this work? Is this something that's even remotely viable? Is actually not reinforcing this wall, opening it all up, and also opening up this wall to try to make this entire floor all one site for the most part. And it catches teams off guard, catches players off guard, because they'll come in through this corner room here, and they'll be like, okay, I can push on in, it's a little small closet. Oh, wait, the wall's opened up?
Death trap.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's still a lot of strategy that can be put onto a hold here on this top
Well, it
floor.
hasn't been played enough to see, but Doc, not going to be one to play it.
Yeah, he's going to get picked off quite early here as Ash is outside of the main office. Now this I like. This I haven't seen before. Lion being outside, holding down that main hallway. This is going to be key to having the attackers win this round.
This is what I love about this game, just that dynamic level remodeling, like the strat you were saying, the reinforcing there, opening that up. You just never know where the shots are going to come from in this game.
Yeah, and so Hopax looking to see if he can deagle by Capital out there. But the wall gets opened up. Nades will go flying in as BIOS is going to try to utilize the incendiary arrow to get Bandit out of place. But Thermite will be killed from Jaeger behind. He's going to be moving on into kitchen. Let's take a quick look at him as he was able to get Thermite from underneath. Castle, though, will succumb to Sledge, who ultimately picks off the kill onto him. Just half the round remaining to go. It is now a 3-on-3 as Tansaro manages to pick off Lion. He will actually feel a couple bullets himself, though, as he tries to get under cover. Hotpack finally gets that deagle onto Captel as he tries to push on in. Blackbeard, however, right on the other side of Hotpack. Not quite sure he realizes it, though, and I think FRSG is just looking to see if someone might peeking through. But the Valkyrie cam right above him, he doesn't spot it. It is on and active. So, looks as though we have Jaeger, that is Cypher, looking for the push from Blackbeard. He's might get the shot here. Blackbeard has been a little bit hesitant, and there he sees him. Just didn't get the shots off just yet. FRSG, not quite sure what to do with this.
There we go. He's going to get these shots soon.
I think Valkyrie's going to be here, though. Oh, no, it's going to be Blackbeard. I looked at the wrong one here. He tries to go for a Tansaro, tries to get Blackbeard, finishes him off. It's now a 1-on-2. 40 seconds, plenty of time for Crisco to get the clutch here, but doesn't have Diffuser in hand and has 2 defenders to destroy.
This is going to be hard when they were pretty well set up. I mean, they did lose Valkyrie at least. Cypher, though.
Ooh, Jaeger goes for the slow peek and will pay the price. Crisco able to get 1 kill. Can he get the other? Bandit's now managed to get himself right behind the desk inside of the main bomb site. He spots Crisco, lays down a couple fires. Crisco, though, is able to backtrack, look through the doorway, and pick off the kill and get the clutch. Nice job by Crisco. Team Vitality taking the first lead on Bank.
I like that slow, semi-confident push. Like, just spots him and comes back around.
Yeah, he's like, a couple ghost shots. All right, he missed. He's probably going to reload, think I'm going to run to the diffuser. I'm going to back up, get the kill, and get the clutch.
Bandit had the advantage there of mobility and just didn't use it. Like he's the faster operator, the quicker aim potentially, but just was too busy kind of watching one spot and not playing to his mobility.
I think what should have been done there, because the Valkyrie cam inside of that square hall that spotted Blackbeard the whole time was still up. I think Bandit should have gotten way out of CEO office, gone around to the front balcony, and just waited there.
Yeah.
Once they realized that Sledge was coming towards the diffuser, coming towards that square lobby, well then, okay, maybe you make yourself back into position. but you don't need to be right behind the desk in line of sight trying to get a cheeky peek as he crosses the doorway.
And that's the hard part. When you're in a clutch position, you should trust your teammates to watch things for you, to take advantage of that. But at the same time, then you end up at situations where everyone's yelling at you, telling you what to do. And it gets really confusing and very stressful when you're the last person left alive like that. So it's not like I really fault him for losing that battle, because that wasn't necessarily like the easiest shot. But at the same time, like, yeah, you really got to trust your teammates and have them do the watching for you.
Yeah, and Crisco did very well in that situation. In a clutch or in an outnumbered situation, for that outnumbered individual, whether you're defense or offense, for that outnumbered individual to have the best chance of success, you need to reduce the numbers of who you're going against. It's a 2v1 or a 3v1. You want to find the scenarios or find the opportunities where that then is a one-on-one.
Yeah.
You can take those one-on-one battles because it's a lot easier to win a one-on-one than it is a 3-on-1.
Yeah.
So as we saw there, Crisco was able to finish off, I believe that was Jaeger, finished off a one-on-one, moved on over, was able to finish off another one-on-one. Those chances are in his favor, and that's what every outnumbered player should be aiming to achieve.
Yeah, and this is interesting. They are also picking CEO office, but they're bringing a mute and seeing if they can deny some intel on it. So, like, for example, they jammed the doorway there, so they opened kind of what you were saying about janitor. They opened a hole into janitor, but then threw a mute jammer down to make it a lot harder for them to see into janitor, so that they maybe don't spot that hole, that they get jammed when they try and get close to the door.
And we can see Bandit was also brought, and his charges will be on the far corner wall. Mute jammer on the other wall.
That's a good combo because you only have 3 batteries and there's 4 walls. So bringing both of them like that, you saw a nice use of utility because it only took 1 mute jammer to get the other 2 walls, leaving him with 3 more jammers to use on this map. That's definitely one of the strengths of mute, especially when you combine them with Bandit.
Yeah, and I think because of the lack of vertical play that we see on Xbox, especially on this map, I think it makes sense to have this kind of strat because a lot of people will not push into Teller, will not push into Archive and play from underneath.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Vitality, though, are at a point advantage.
Now we will see Twitch here for the first time tonight, but looking through the doorway, Hotpack might see Crisco. Let's take a quick look as Crisco, he doesn't see him, he's still on the other side of the wall, but Sledge probably scared him as Crisco was right next to the wall when Sledge opened it up. Now 1:15 left to go, still 5-on-5, Cypher's just getting into position here. Taking a quick look at Brian, he spots FRSGs, moving back and forth through the little murder hole, those little knee holes. Tries to land a few shots, but just cannot. Valkyrie, however, does get downed as Max pushes on in, will finish FRSG off. I don't know, I'd kind of like to see a hammer kill there. But no, other than that, great kill by Max. But as we say that, the C4 comes flying out from Lion.
From all the way down there.
All the way down there. Great job. Anthrax, though, tries to get Blackbeard, just cannot. He is not Doc. He is a Rook, so he will not get up, and Blackbeard will ultimately finish him off. However, no, Mute going for the side kill. I think Brian realizes it.
Good call, Brian, getting out of there. You left yourself in a
But he's going to go back up, and I think Bios might get the shot onto him.
No,
he's covered right by the balcony. He gets inside. He gets the kill. Bio, though, gets the last bullet right onto him. Nice shot. It's now all up to Thermite. Hotpack right on the other side of Twitch. He's going to try to push on in. Now it is a one-on-one. It's about to be a one-on-2 with 10 seconds left to go. He's got to push on in. Last defender alive is Mute. He gets one from behind. There's Twitch pushing on out. Gets the second kill. Bio with the triple kill and the clutch for Vitality. It's now a 3-1 lead. Team Vitality coming on strong here for Bank.
I love the way Bias played that. He went outside. He was patient enough to get Blackbeard. Not necessarily 100% due to skill. I mean, he was definitely lucky catching him in that mid-swing. But doing that, then rotating all the way back up, taking the kill that he got, and then realizing that he needed to adjust how he is so he doesn't get hit by the other person. Because the other person's going to be telling him where he's at. He's in hallway, he's in hallway. Dropped instead to a prone position, come on out the hallway, shoots him. That was just very, very well played by Bios. And really saved the round for his team.
It was. I think he played it smart. I think Blackbeard made the right decision to get down out of there. But he came back up, and he just got picked off at the last bullet.
Yeah.
That last bullet.
So close. Well, Vitality definitely showing their strength on this map. This is like we were saying before, this should be their map here. They're already 3-1. They're 2 points ahead. Doesn't mean there isn't still tons of runway for E-Punks to make a comeback, but they're really going to have to adjust. I mean, they will go back to the bottom bomb spot again. So,
yeah, I think what I like about this Bank meta that's been coming out of Xbox is we haven't seen it before. It hasn't been in Season 1, hasn't been in Season 2. This is one of the largest maps, square footage-wise or square meter-wise, however you want to put it,
Yeah.
in the game. So the fact that we have seen Xbox try to favor smaller maps, but now this large map is coming basically out of nowhere
Yeah.
to make an appearance and have a lot of teams choose it, a lot of teams are playing it. I think it speaks to the development of the Xbox Pro League and how the meta is changing for North America and Europe.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely we're seeing a lot of like their ability to take on larger range maps, to take on vertical play like Chalet, things like that is definitely an evolving thing. And it's one of the great things. It's like it's not evolving because Ubisoft put in new updates. It's evolving because the players are getting better, the skill depth is there. There is something to work towards, and I think that's great. And we're going to see even more of that once they'll get back into the game.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it before, how the game itself is very flexible. That's one of the things that everyone loves about this game is how it's not cut and dry. You can't just go one way and it's always going to be the way it is, the best way to go about it. You've got, 26 operators now? 13 on each side. You've got 13 different maps to choose from. I mean, 9 in the Pro League, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, lots of different ways to go about playing this map as well as this game in general. And I think the flexibility, the maneuverability, the lack of, we'll call it concrete strats.
Yeah.
Is something
The
that
lack of
draws
concrete is definitely something in this game.
The lack of concrete, yes.
Those
Period.
drywall.
The lack of the destructibility.
Yeah. No, and I think Castle is the one that kind of really shows that the most because it took 2 seasons for people to figure out how to use him without a single change on the game.
I mean, the same could potentially be said for Fuse. We saw a Fuse here earlier today. And
I'd
I
like to
think
see him make a comeback.
he could very well make a comeback. I mean, as we see Border, we see Favela, each of these maps are coming out and they're being more and more destructible. More and more is changing in these maps. And I think with that, you're going to see different operators that haven't been changed, haven't been utilized, but make a comeback. We said Castle, he's probably the MVP of Season 3.
Yeah.
Could Fuse be the MVP of Season 4? We might find out later on.
Hope so.
But I'd love to see some operators that don't get changed, but still make a comeback to being one of the chosen operators.
Tachanka, right?
Tachanka. Now, Tachanka, he needs a little bit of work.
Yeah.
But my heart is with him. My heart is with Lord Chanka. We don't do religion on this stream.
For Chanka, I will.
For Chanka, okay.
All right.
You did a T, not a cross, right?
Yeah, it was a lowercase t.
It was a lowercase t for Tachanka. Okay,
exactly.
I got you. All right, so we are underway, guys, in Bank here with the teams ready to go, choosing their operators. Vitality is in the lead 3-1 right now, and I think they've got what it takes to pull it off here and make the score 1-1.
So we just need to see a coordinated attack here.
Yes, coordinated attack.
That's been the weakness on both the attacks because attacking the bottom floor actually isn't necessarily that hard on Bank. But you have to do it like coordinated as a team. Like we're not seeing anyone really pushing server all that well, for example, which is more of the PC meta. We're seeing them pushing kind of the locker side, which generally, as we've seen here, is just not the strongest push. Like it's a harder side to push because of the ways you come for a pinch are a little more difficult. Server, you've got a clear-cut server stairs and construction tunnel versus pushing the hatches and things like that. There's just so many more access points on the server side and the CCTV versus locker side. Locker side, you have to time it right, and we've seen what happens when you don't.
Definitely. And so I think, what we saw last time was the push from the teller's drop and the main stairs. Didn't work out for the attackers again because they just pushed one by one by one.
Yeah.
But I think this is a push that can work.
Absolutely.
I think if you're gonna go this route, you need to go all out. And there's 2 hatches that are very key. You've got your hatch behind the teller line. You also have the elevator hatch. And so what I see being useful here is if you're going to make a push, you're going to make a strat for here, you're going to come down where Brian is, you're going to have maybe 2 individuals, not Blackbeard. You don't want Blackbeard on these stairs. His feet will be exposed.
He might be almost better off pushing garage.
Yeah, pushing garage or possibly coming down here. But there it is. Crisco gets a shot onto a greedy pulse. I believe that might have been outside trying to make the push from, let's take a quick look over here. Do we see the dead body? No, we don't. Where did Pulse die? I want to find him.
Buried.
Didn't make a push out here. Did he come out from garage? I don't see a dead Pulse anywhere.
Well,
he vanished.
Rip Pulse.
He's got no heartbeat. We can't find him, guys.
Yeah. So, well, that is not a good start for the defenders, but a good start for a final attack round on here, as we have not seen a successful one yet.
Yeah, and so here we have, ooh, there it is. Hoppack gets his camera spotted. Thermite's right above him now, getting the drop hatch opened up.
Well, this is a good start. Let's see if they're going to make a different push. Now, that's the kind of hatch you're going to blow when you're making a push here for CCTV and server.
This is very risky for Hoppack because his feet are exposed.
The drone saw him as well.
Drone saw him. C4 goes out, doesn't land it, but Crisco inside a server, he will drone out Valkyrie.
See, this is a much, much better play. This is what we were talking about, pushing from this side as well as this.
Ooh, Hoppack pushes on in, gets the shotgun kills right onto Crisco. Bios is able to pick up the shots onto Cypher, though.
That cost him a lot of his health, but boy, was that worth it.
I'll tell you what, I think it was. He's now able to control server without dying.
Yeah. He probably should be guarding those server stairs now, but I think he's looking to see if he can catch him off guard when they make a push all the way down. But doesn't look like they're as interested in pushing it anymore. They were before, but then after that death, they said, nah, not working out.
Yeah, and Jaeger also succumbed to a couple bullets. And
spoke too early.
They realized that Hoppack was inside of the A-bomb site, pushed into server, so they opened up the drop hatch, and now Thermite is just watching it. We do see Capital, though, looking for the bullets. The shots onto Valkyrie, doesn't land them, and he does shoot the arrow, gets out of the way. But again, Hoppack, I think your feet are exposed here. You got to be very careful trying to sit in here.
They really need to take him out, because if they can take him out, they're already at 4-3 advantage. Taking him out would put them in a nice. There we go.
Anthrax finally downs him. We'll finish him off here as he sits on top of the desk. It's now a 4-on-2, 45 seconds left to go. Team Vitality wins this one. They're up 4-1, and it will be match point next round.
This is looking very strong for the attackers. They've got a lot of strong attackers left. There's a Doc on the other team, but Doc can't get to Bandit just yet. Bandit is lower health than Doc.
Yeah, and so Tansaro, though, is probably going to come up behind Brian.
Heal me.
He's going to say, yes, get me. But in the meantime, Tansaro's going to hold on here, and we're going to see Anthrax push on in, gets killed by Brian. Bios, though, able to get one shot onto Tansaro, and the FRSG drops from the hatch, picks up the shots onto Brian, and finishes him off.
They would go for a few gold bars as souvenirs. Nicely played by Vitality there. That is exactly why we say that push is much stronger. They got the hatch. That's an important part of that. And then they pushed from both sides. The side from, the other side, not so much, but the server side push definitely worked out.
Yep.
Hoppack, like you said, the feet being exposed, being in kind of like a little bit of a compromised position. Worked great when he was able to push out fast to get that one kill. But after that, he probably should have retreated somewhere else because they droned that spot.
Yeah, I think that's a fault or a fallacy on the attacker's part for not covering that drop hatch better.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, if the defensive can take advantage of it, go right ahead. It's a very risky move not knowing who's up there.
Yeah. But it can be risky staying up there as well. Like you saw the C4 throw come out, for example. There are counters to it, especially if smoke's in play and things like that. But ultimately, the hatch itself didn't necessarily play a huge factor in it. So much as having it open put him in a position that he had to watch a lot of different angles.
The good old days when Smoke used to have a C4, he could open up the entire wall.
Poor guy. He's still a utility machine, though, even with those impact grenades. Smoke is definitely one of the most versatile operators on defense.
Yeah, I remember during Season 1 and Season 2, you could see him as much as an on-site sentry onto the bomb site, as much as you would see him in a lurking or a roaming position.
Yeah,
he was very versatile.
Considered him kind of the mid-roam. He's the roam that can roam and then come back and defend site when he needs it, for sure. We see him pre-planting a smoke there.
A little softly.
Yeah. Pre-planting a smoke is something that, similar to what you see, like I said earlier, on Oregon laundry stairs, is something that he's doing here. He's doing it so that he can get that first smoke off without doing any exposing of himself and without giving them a hint that he's going to be doing. He's not chucking it through the air. So doing something like that, like he knows he's not probably going to use the smoke anywhere else.
Yep.
So in a defense like that, absolutely pre-plant. On a defense where you don't know where they're coming from, for sure, then yeah, obviously you don't want to pre-plant it.
So Crisco's going to sit inside of the server room once again, and we see the frost trap right on the other side of the desk. Now,
I would almost put it behind servers for when they try and run around behind them real quick.
That's what I would say. Either behind the doorway here or behind the server, because a lot of people, at least to me, I've never seen someone really vault over that desk.
Yeah. I would think frost traps would almost work a little bit better on Xbox because on Xbox, a lot of times crosshair placement is important to keep it head height because you don't want to quickly switch vertically as much. So you might not catch, especially if you are just kind of rushing in, you might not catch what's on the floor if you could disguise it well.
Now, taking a look at the defenders, they're on cameras. A lot of the cameras are still up, so they're getting intel that should be denied from them.
Yeah.
But the attackers just aren't being very thorough in their destruction.
And that's probably going to cost them. They're at match point here. They really need to be a lot more careful than that. But at least they won the last map, so they're not going to feel too bad if they get a draw here.
Now, one of the things that I've always wondered if it could be viable here is going to be an IQ, for the simple reason that these aren't close quarter rooms for the most part. They're wide open, so you need someone with a good line of sight, a good ability to spot those Valkyrie cameras.
Yeah, discussing with some of the other pro players, IQ just doesn't get played just because people are too scared to use the gadget inside to get a lot of use out of it. Because once you're inside, you're just stuck on your pistol if you pull it out.
Yep.
So I think it's just a little bit risky for play, but like Castle, we could see it come out later on.
Ooh, Thatcher, though, was looking through the drop patch, took a little bit of damage. Oh, I say a little. He's got a little bit of life left in him. As he tries to get Crisco, lands the shots because Frost is just peeking a little bit too much. We still have Valkyrie, though, inside his server, as there's going to be a pushing from Capital. She rushes outside, will be detected. They now know she's out here. Let's take a quick look. They don't quite know what to make of FRSG just yet.
The trap.
At this point, yes, that's exactly what you do, FRSG. You back away. There's that first smoke grenade from Anthrax. It allows him to throw another one. 25 seconds left to go. It's going to hold him back to about 10 seconds. He is now detected. He's going to try to make a push back in here. Bios holding the nice angle. That's a very tight, very good angle.
Oh, plant came down.
Diffuser, though, does get planted. Blackbeard is now behind the desk. Cypher coming in from behind, looking to see if FRSG might make the push. Cypher, though, he's going to be there. He tries to land some shots. Take a quick look at Hoppack. He goes for the shots onto Smoke. Lands it. Taking a quick look back at Cypher. He was able to get the shots onto FRSG. It's now all up to Bandit. It looks as though Jaeger has been injured. Lion, though, on top. Gets the shots onto Blackbeard. Pushes over Capital. Just cannot get the shots until the final one right there. And it will be E-Punks getting the round. Not letting it go to match point just yet. Or, no, I'm sorry, it is match point. Not letting it to get the game over.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously when you're on match point, though, you can't trade rounds. You pretty much just got to get a streak going. We haven't seen a lot of streaky play from E-Punks here, as this is only their second point. So, still definitely teetering on the edge for E-Punks here.
Yeah, we're going to have to take another look at that. I want to say that defensive strategy just, it was a little awkward.
Yeah, well, being outside probably doesn't help.
Being outside was a little awkward, a little harsh. Now, if Valkyrie, I think it was Valkyrie, would have pushed outside further or earlier, we'll say, maybe had a minute and a half left to go, going back upstairs and going around to the main lobby, yes, you have enough time to potentially do that. But when you've got 30 seconds left, you need to get down there and at least cause some pressure. And they did, but it just didn't work out for them.
Yeah, E-Punk's finally taking the good push there, pushing that side strong, taking the server. And we see the importance. You take the server, you're more likely to win. Like, that's just what we've seen, both in this match and in general in this game.
Yeah, and so we are going to see the bomb sites go back downstairs into the server room, or into the, we'll call it archives room.
Interesting choice there, trying to catch someone off guard.
Well, that actually did happen downstairs in the server room last round. I believe it was, I want to say it was Sledge or Ash had pushed on in, and she went across a barbed wire that was electrified. Didn't get hardly any damage done to her, but the fact that you're going to be hit like that, I mean, it throws you off.
Oh, absolutely. Not to mention killing drones. It's definitely strong. I mean, drones can jump over it, but they kind of got to be prepared for it. So it's definitely, but the humans can't jump over it. That's the important part, right? So, Valkyrie though with a good camera. This is important. Like they've had the defense server every time, and you see the value of that right there. I would get off the camera at this point though. You don't need to be staring at it.
I mean, Crisco, I don't know what you're looking at, Crisco. I mean,
well, Crisco is on the Angry Birds. Gonna get caught out here.
Oh, Hoppack going for the push though.
Spotted each other.
I think
cat and mouse going on here.
I tell you, it's a little bit of Chicken Little going on.
These two cameras playing on each other. Right in the knee shot there.
I think maybe she's baiting it. Maybe she's going for the bait.
I don't know. They're just gonna watch each other all day long here. This is kind of the most awkward push I've ever seen.
But now Crisco's like, I don't know if I should do it.
Game over.
60 seconds that Valkyrie was able to waste. So magnificent job from her part.
Yeah, that's the power of having those cameras there.
Oh, and here's a nice roam from Cypher. Spotted, I believe it was Thermite potentially on top of the roof.
It's risky being out in such an open position though. He's got a lot of angles to watch. But Thermite looks like he might blow open that wall to put pressure on Red Hallway like we were talking about earlier.
He's going to rush out though. It looks as though, I think that was Bios was able to get inside of the B bomb site, but was downed. Just not finished off quite yet. Anthrax though, coming in from Garage, able to get Hoppack, taking another look at him. He moves on in, tries to land some more shots, but gets sideswiped and hit from behind by Jaeger. Brian able to pick up the shots on the FRSG. It is now a 1-on-3 because Capital is down inside of the B bomb site. A minute 10 left to go, plenty of time, but Crisco will have to make a push here if he wants to try to save his buddy Bios.
Definitely hard because of that he's pushed back into that vault, and now Crisco's really left in a pinch position.
Ooh, and a great angle by Hoppack to make it 4-3 for E-Punks.
E-Punks don't want to give this map up without a fight. That would have been nice earlier on, but as we saw, both teams were kind of feeling it out. You saw both teams doing like a much weaker defense, but also a much weaker attack, and now both teams have kind of figured out how each other are playing and switched up their attack, but the attack that time not working as well as the previous one.
Yeah, and I like what I saw there. I think it was very good. I think it showed a little bit of teamwork there from E-Punks. I want to know how Capital got inside of the B bomb site though so quickly. I think he just rushed in, said, "Hey, I'm in garage."
He is a 3-speed operator.
He is.
But they are bringing out the castle this time. We'll see if that can do some slowing down of people like Capito. Probably going to castle that garage door. Maybe make it a little bit harder for people to push in that garage side, like you're saying. Because they need to make some adjustments here as I don't think they won this defense last time, so.
Yeah, they did not. I mean, 4-3.
Yeah, I mean,
gotta hold it.
They're still in a good position. Yeah, I mean, all they've got to do is win one round this time. But if they lose this round, then it does go to match point. I mean, overtime, and they're gonna have to win 2 rounds. So it's like win this one, or you're gonna have to win 2.
Yeah, I mean, you're up 4-1. Is it likely that Team Vitality is going to win 2 games, or is it more likely that E-Punks is going to win 5?
Yeah.
And
No, it's definitely looking
I'm leaning
like
towards
Vitality.
Team Vitality, but
Yeah.
E-Punks, if they win this, then it's back to even.
Yeah, well, at least they're making adjustments here. Bios just castling up that garage door, wanting to make sure that they can't just make an easy push in. So those kind of adjustments, we'll see if they make a difference there, because they want to constrain where the push is going to come from. They want to say, okay, our defense wasn't as strong last time. We were a little all over the place. We really need to funnel them better and get those kills. And that's exactly what Castle's great at.
Yeah, and you can see Castle just barricaded both of these walls, or both of the doorways here, and reinforced the wall. And basically he's just cutting it off, saying, okay, we're going to focus our attention on servers for that push. They haven't shown that they can push successfully from the vault just yet.
Yeah, and a lot of people say, like, oh, well, castle doors can be just knocked down. They can be melee down or whatever. But it costs them time. It costs them potentially resources. And it can really, like, force them to pick a different spot to
and it
attack
gives away
from.
your position.
Absolutely. So it is definitely far from a useless thing, but you do got to use it strategically.
Yeah.
Valkyrie, though, wrong weapon for the stairs. You need to be on the shotgun if you're going to be holding the stairs there, and you see why. Can't even hit the drone as it comes down the stairs.
Yeah, we saw this actually happen before. We saw an MPX on the stairs and a shotgun behind server.
Yeah, it's just you gotta pick the right tool for the job. Furious G though is a good player, and I imagine he could pull it off, but he's gonna have to be careful about how he plays it, or he could just get pushed right on his face.
And so Capital moved on in from the back alley spawn. He's now staring at the doorway. And nades will go out, but I don't think Valkyrie's ready to make a push just yet. Keeping an eye though on Crisco. He's covering the hallway, or the server,
Yes,
the sewer push.
Put Crisco on the stairs and get Valkyrie over there.
Yeah, we're gonna have a chat with these guys on weapon choices, but nonetheless, no, these are pro players. They do know what they're doing. Blackbeard's gonna try to make a push in, but a team kill from Max onto Cypher, and he also manages to get the shot onto Furious G. But Crisco lands the shotgun shells onto Brian, finishing him off. That's gonna be a 2-for-1 trade, and I think Vitality's got the upper hand, taking off the 2 best operators on the attack side, but turns the corner to the bottom of the stairs. The nade from from Buck just annihilates there, and there's gonna be that frost trap you were talking about, hopping over that
Finally
table.
got it.
And we're gonna have to see here. Now, the points don't come up to show that Frost got the trap, but they might have heard the snap. Anthrax, if I were you, possibly just throw the smokes out there.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, you got 35 seconds left to go. He's got one planted.
Baiting him.
Oh, he sees the crouch from Buck.
Uh-oh. He's going to get over there and get that revive.
There it is. Sledge pushing on in from Garage. Picks off 1 kill, and now he's stuck inside of the corner. It's now a 2-on-3. 20 seconds left to go. Lion holding on the doorway, but Sledge has already passed it. Now Anthrax is going to throw one more smoke in, but Sledge most likely going to make a push here in just a moment. Looks towards the hallway. Doesn't get a kill. Vitality's been able to move on in. Anthrax. Let's see, can he get the shots? No, Max is there to get the kill. It's now all up to Lion, who's back at the bottom of the stairs. Diffuser will get planted. He doesn't look to the left. Sledge gets the kill, and it will be E-Punks tying it back. It is now 4-4 going into overtime.
That definitely went bad after Frost getting naded, and they just took server. Like we said before, take server, you take the plant.
Yep. I mean, it was a little bit of, I don't know, I heard a thermite charge go off. I don't know if that was the wall or the drop hatch. I want to say it was the wall because
Yeah, I
it was
think so.
downstairs in server. But that's what allowed them to get the plant down. Sledge, magnificent turn of events there.
Yeah.
I mean, he came in from garage, opened up the castle wall, and I think he juked the heck out of Jaeger. So, I mean, Jaeger was holding a good angle for someone that was still in the stairwell, someone that was still inside a garage. But as soon as Sledge got that kill, he moved on in, said, okay, I'm just going to sit tight in this little corner.
Yeah, I think one of the things they could have done that could have turned that run around is doing what you said, which is getting that smoke onto the down operator and killing him.
Yep.
That would have probably turned things around for them because they went from like a 3v3 and then a 2v3, and it could have been down to a 2v2, and they might have been able to like turn around and get Sledge because it would have only been one in the servers to deal with.
I think some of the reason that he might not have realized that the frost trap got somebody, the ambient noise of the showers.
Yeah,
potentially.
that is one big
that hallway
complaint.
does have showers in it. It does kind of make people realize that, hey, I don't hear everything that I should. So, that, like you said, that is a complaint that we hear from some of the pro league players.
But it does keep your hair clean when you're defending.
It does. It does. I mean,
So.
granted, they all have helmets and hoods and masks on, so now you just smell like a wet dog. But we'll have to see.
Speaking of wet dogs, it's 4-4 now, so
Yes.
could be anyone's map.
It could be. So we do have a disconnect. We are going to have to remake. So we're going to cut to a quick break, guys, while we get everyone back in lobby, finish off the second map between these two teams, E-Punks and Team Vitality. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here with the teams in hand. Not everyone just yet, because we are having a coin toss to determine who's going to be on attack, who's going to be on defense, because it is overtime. We had that unfortunate remake early on in that game. But it is map number 2, 4-4 between E-Punks and Team Vitality. Now, E-Punks took the first map on Clubhouse 5-2.
Yeah, that was a strong play from ePunks.
It was. And so I'm happy to see that they've managed to come back. It was a 4-1 deficit on Bank. They've managed to come back to a 4-4. So I think they've got the momentum in to make that final push, get the final 2 wins.
Yeah, Vitality are the ones who really need this, though. They're the ones who need to be like, we shouldn't get shut out by. we're in 2nd place, and we're getting shut out by the team in 7th place. So they really need to like get their head together. They've had this brief moment where we were remaking. Okay, guys, what are we doing wrong here? We just gave them like 2 rounds in a row, or 3 rounds in a row.
3 rounds.
Come on, guys.
We're gonna have to see. So with that, let's take a look at. Well, let's talk about what we saw there on those bottom bomb site holds. Now we saw at the very beginning, it looked like Team Vitality was a little uncoordinated, or ePunks were, with just going
both
one
teams
push
really
after
did.
another. They were pretty uncoordinated. But it seems like ePunks has gotten their act together and managed to hold on.
I think some poor choices of positioning and weapon usage and stuff too also cost Vitality a bit. I mean, I won't fault Frost too much for getting killed by that nade. Frost killed Blackbeard right there, did her job, but then backing up into that grenade wasn't the best. It was a hard position where I don't think Frost knew which way to run.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, do I run up the stairs or do I run back into server? And that was really that moment of indecision.
Plus the timing of the nade, too. I mean, it was almost like it was a cooked nade from Capital.
You saw him like, do I throw it? Do I throw it? And he waited for just the right time on his part. So, I mean, the only reason I bring up the Frost was because that death cost them around. Because, I mean, Valkyrie was playing it incorrectly. And we know that, and it cost Valkyrie their life. Frost, however, getting killed there left them with no one on that. And as we saw, as I said, they take the server, they take the map because they don't have anything left. So maybe what one of these teams needs to be doing when they're defending that basement is have someone prepared to rotate around behind them on server stairs. Because once you take server, that is your biggest weakness, is someone rotating behind you on server stairs. And we just haven't seen that from either team yet.
Yeah, and so we are going to see, again, we're still waiting for the coin toss to happen to see who's going to be on what side. But I want to know where this upstairs meta came from, because even in Xbox, in PC and Xbox, we've always seen either Teller in Archives or we've seen the open space held. And I'm curious, just now, Playday number 7, basically nowhere, we're seeing upstairs being held, the CEO office. Why do you think that's developed?
I think when you're on Playday 7, that's when you want to bring out new stuff. You want to bring out stuff that teams haven't practiced since, haven't had a chance to see it. And it's kind of funny that both teams did it. We've seen these teams kind of tit for tat every time, picking the same bomb spots, but doing their defenses a bit differently. And I think the point you made earlier about it is probably one of the main reasons, which is on Xbox, you're not seeing as much play on those windows, which means the downside of the windows is not there. And then you start barricading up, you start castling things, you start setting up your own defense, and you start basically funneling them in the way you want to on there. And that's what they were doing. They were taking advantage of that to say, okay, we're going to control how people come at us, because people aren't playing the skylight as well. They aren't playing the windows, like either the ones that are boarded up or the ones that are rappelling at, shooting through. As long as we play this tight, funnel them into us, jam walls and things like that, they can't get those attacks. And I mean, it went both ways. Obviously, it didn't all work. But we did see some good reasons why that they were doing that.
Yep. All right, and so we are here underway in Bank with operator selections happening right now. So we do have Team Vitality won the opportunity to start on defense. Now the teams have been good on defense and bad on defense. So we'll have to see if this is going to go in favor of Team Vitality, because it is 4-4, the last matchup between these two teams here on the second map of the day. Now, right after this is going to be another matchup. That's going to be the final games of the Pro League until 3 weeks from now when we go to LAN.
Yeah.
But this is Playday number 7, so today's going to be the last showcasing of EU Xbox.
Yeah, and for Vitality being in second place right now, they really want to cement this, because like it's going to feel bad if you are in second place and then just get bumped out.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, because what could happen right now, I think Supremacy's in the lead with 13 points. Vitality right now has 12, and I want to say there's one other team I'm drawing a blank on right now, but they've got 11. So what could happen, Supremacy, I mean, so if Team Vitality gets 0 points, Supremacy is automatically going to LAN.
Yeah.
So Supremacy right now is, they're rooting for ePunks.
Yeah.
Now, if if Vitality doesn't get a win here, they're still 1 point ahead of that third place team. If the third place team, there's going to be Vitality. No, unfortunately, another disconnect. But I mean, if Team Vitality doesn't get a point here, they're still 1 point ahead third place. Third place, if they are able to secure 3 points today, they're going to kick Vitality off and say, nope, we're going to take that land spot.
Exactly. And that's why you want to secure at least this 1 point
Yeah.
to keep yourself. I mean, you can't sit pretty at that second spot with this close of a race.
Yeah, I mean, if you secure the 1 point, then you're 2 points ahead, and the third place team will need to get a triple kill or triple point to.
Yeah, because they can't just tie to get that.
Yeah. So I don't know exactly how the rounds are played out between the two teams, but if third place wins 1 point and Team Vitality doesn't, they'll be tied at 12 points apiece. And it's going to come down to how many rounds have you won, how many rounds have you lost.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have to – I don't know who's going to win that battle.
Yeah.
But that's always something that you don't want to wait to find out.
Yeah, and it's Vitality gonna have to get it together here. Though obviously they're having some disconnect issues, so that's not gonna help. Hopefully that doesn't tilt them too much because they're gonna have to put up a bit of a fight here. E-Punks though could be getting confident. Could use that against them.
They could, and I mean, this. So there was a remake for the lobby just because we had to go into overtime settings, but now there's this other remake of this, and I want to say E-Punks might be thrown off of their motivation, thrown off of their confidence that they've had going for them for the past 3 rounds. Now, a good Pro League team, this doesn't throw a wrench into their plans.
We've seen it a lot, though. We've seen a lot of times the pace really change after a remake. So it's not surprising, whether that be going to get a drink of water or taking a bathroom break or just having a quick powwow, whatever it is. Momentum can matter in this game because confidence is important.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, and this gives time for both teams. Now, I believe both teams have a manager on board with their teams. This gives time for those managers additional perspectives, additional time to analyze
to remind Vitality of the points that they need right now.
yeah. Take those kids back into the locker room and go over the whiteboard. Say, this is what you got to do.
Yeah.
Draw the little X's and O's to show who's defending, who's attacking, and where you're going to be sitting.
Luckily for Vitality, they're starting on that defense, so they can start out here, try and get a good, solid defense and get momentum. But if E-Punks tear that apart, it's going to be hard for Vitality to feel like in a great position at that point.
So this is a little, I want to say it's a little hard. This is actually one of those maps where I'm not sure I want to start on defense. I'll tell you why. Because let's say you're guaranteed to win that first bomb site downstairs in the basement, because now that's the bomb site you want to hold. Now you have E-Punks is then going to be on defense. They're going to get the defender bomb site, so they'll get that win. Now what are you forced to do? Go to the unfavorable bomb site.
Yep.
So from an attacker standpoint, you're actually favorable to start on attacks to start. You might lose the first one, but you're more likely to win the next 2.
Now, of course, that is assuming that they lose their attack round.
Yes.
So if they don't lose their attack round, then they are in a stronger position. But I agree, like the way like the bomb site switch and when you're switching sides is actually a big factor in this game. It's not something to be taken lightly in terms of like, oh, would you switch sides and switch places? Like the numbers matter, where you start matters. But if you still start with a defensive win, though, that puts the other team on a little bit of a momentum problem.
I can't be that risky anymore. I have to play cautious. I have to play correctly with my team. And
so it can go either way. There's definitely advantages and disadvantages.
There's a mental aspect to it. But we do have everyone underway. So let's take a look at the operators as they are selected by the teams.
So last time when we saw this starting just before the disconnect, they're not going with the castle this time. Maybe they decided that just wasn't worth it, but they're still going to keep the frost. Let's hope Furious G, if he's going to play that stairwell, switches over to the shotgun.
Yeah, that's one thing I'd like to see here is how I think it was in Season 3 or Season 2, we got the ability to see, I think it was Dustline. We got the ability to see players, actually, no, it was the favela. It was Skull Rain. We got as a player, you're able to see the rest of your team's loadout. That'd be nice to have an option here to see that.
Yeah. So
Ubisoft, I have an idea for you.
Yeah, I think Ubisoft has a bag full of ideas at this point.
They do. They have more than a basket.
So they actually switched out the frost for a pulse. Maybe decided that trap. Well, the trap wasn't worth it when they couldn't finish the kill, but definitely probably a better choice. Like knowing where they're going to come from is really important. Like pulse can do a lot in terms of killing, but just knowing where the attack is coming from and being able to rotate early does make a difference.
Yeah, and like you said, makes a lot of difference, gives a lot of intel. Now, they aren't going with a Doc or a Rook.
Yeah,
so they're definitely going to go for their shots. They're going to go for the angles. They're going to go for the kills, not try to be a bullet sponge.
Yeah, I would personally go with a Rook or a Doc over Bandit. But Lion likes playing Bandit. He's good on the Bandit, and obviously just kind of wants to stick with what he's good with gun-wise. And regardless of whether or not those batteries end up doing anything, he's still a good fast operator.
Now, taking a quick look at Crisco, he runs out there with a shotgun of all weapons. Now, if he were to run out there, he'd have to shoot down that whole alleyway down towards the bottom of the ladder.
Yeah, he
no
just
one
wants
went
to
down,
know.
but
Defender is approaching
Yep.
the
Just
kill
are they
zone.
coming the sewers or not? Nope,
that's
not
what he
looking
wants
like
to
it.
know. It's what he wants to know, and he won't find out.
Just throw a Valk cam like you did there. Just use that. You
I
know,
know,
don't
right?
don't peek your head out there. Don't face check it.
But as we see that going on, we will take a look over here at Capital because he is in the main lobby right now. Gets rid of one cam, and I think what he's mainly going to do here is just hopefully secure top floor with his buddy. I believe that is Ash who's up there, possibly Sled. No, that's Ash up here. Ash with breach charges, something we typically don't see. She's normally known for her smoke grenades.
Yeah, it's good for an aggressive push. Breach charges aren't necessarily the most aggressive thing when you have to plant them on the wall and then wait a second and then delay them. But does take control of open office, which is good for Thermite to come in here and blow that hatch. We don't see him doing that yet, but you do want to take control of this so he has that option.
Yeah, now Sledge and, ooh, it looks like FRSG might be looking for the peak there. He does get droned out by Cypher, but I want to
Another
say,
drone.
yeah, Hopak's also going to identify Furious G.
Located by
misses it.
Moves on in, and we'll spot,
Third
looks like
drone.
bios. So just tons of drone hairs from E-Punks, and
Yeah.
this is allowing them that information to know when to make that push.
Yeah, probably doesn't take 3 drones to identify that Furious still there, but they are going for a push on this
Ooh,
side.
a little bit of slowness going on. FRSG's going to throw the C4. Boom!
2
Boom! The
kills.
double C4. Hopak and Cypher will succumb to FRSG's C4. Bios also picking up the kill into Tansaro. It's now a 5-on-2. A minute 10 left to go. Great job by FRSG.
So those 3 drones didn't identify that they were going to get C4'd.
I tell you, they're not smart enough.
Yeah.
Here it is, though. Brian has made his way into garage, pushes on up. Lion picking off the 4th kill, and Brian is the last one alive. Spots Bios, doesn't land any bullets, and now Crisco right on the other side. He's going to come here with that M1014, try to land the shotgun shells as Anthrax is going to hold on to the cross. FRSG, though, able to get the shots as he pushes into the bottom of the stairwell, and Blackbeard is the last one to fall for E-Punks.
That was nearly a flawless defense. Not sure why E-Punks thought, you know what, let's push the side that we've lost on every time. But, I mean,
Tis the season to change it up.
yeah, I mean, yes, that was unfortunate getting double C4'd, but even had he not got double C4'd, like, Valkyrie was right there already shooting at his face the moment it opened. Like, you don't open it and then, like, face check it, right? Like, you wait a second for exactly that reason. And then, yeah, he whiffed the shots, right? That was lucky. Like, oh, wow, well, we got lucky there. He shot at us, but he missed. Oh, well, let's just stand here and get C4'd.
Yeah, and so as we were talking, we said Vitality had the upper hand on the defense round. They obviously showed it there. Very strong. Can E-Punks do the same thing? Now, this is it. If E-Punks cannot hold this, if Team Vitality wins, they will gain 1 more point. They will be tied for first place. But it's still not out of the woods for them just yet.
No, but Vitality winning that first round, like we said, is something they needed to do to get that momentum up. Because if they had lost that round, that would have been pretty tilting at that point. That would have been hard to recover from, losing like your best round out of these potential 3.
Yep.
So now E-Punks are going to have to play it hard time. Let's hope Vitality don't say, hey, let's attack locker side too. Because as we saw, there's a reason why the meta is to attack the server side. I mean, I'm not going to say it's imbalanced, but it's a little imbalanced in terms of sides.
Maybe as a defense strategy here, you kind of force them to it by
Locate a bomb and defuse it.
not reinforcing and kind of persuading them to say, let's go towards the vault.
Yeah, right. Well, we'll just leave this this teller's drop unreinforced and see if they take the bait.
It's a lot more of a bait than it is with you trying to bait someone with a team or with a drone. So
Yeah.
very risky, but they won't go for it.
But I like that they're bringing the dock. They are bringing a bandit, which now they're sacrificing the smoke again, which is something we said was not a great idea, especially if the push comes on the server again. So this could cost them potentially. I'd almost take the smoke over Pulse even in this case, just because like the Pulse, yeah, he's useful for the intel, but a smoke denying a plant is much more useful.
Yeah, I think though the reason they aren't bringing the smoke is for the reason that there are 2 lurkers. We've got Jaeger and Bandit here on the main stairs and inside of the meeting hall. So
That's risky there. That's not like the best angle you can just hold.
it is not, and FRSG picks off Bandit inside of the meeting room, and now I would be surprised if Jaeger does not retreat back downstairs, and here we go. We see him down here. Crisco, though, right on the other side of the doorway inside of the garage. Jaeger, though, going for the kill. He lands him through the doorway, picks it off. That's got to be communication and cam kills. Great job by Cypher.
Now that was 1 lurker dead, 1 lurker gets a kill. It's not terrible, but Cypher needs to get back to site at this point because he's not doing anything like that.
Ooh, there it
No,
is,
drone
Capital.
bait.
There's the drone bait once again. Here comes another nade. Is someone going to make a push? Not just yet. Bios able to get the shots, and so that right there might trade it off just a little bit. It's now a 3-on-4. E-Punks down to 3 members left on their team. A minute 20 left to go. Now Hopak's trying to hold a very tight angle. I don't quite know if he can actually see too much, but Thermite is inside of the garage
Hello.
with Blackbeard. There's the drone popping on through. Spots him, calls it out.
He's not changing position, and that's always a fatal mistake in my opinion.
And Bios moving down the main stairs with Thatcher. This is that double push from either side of the garage, but let's take a quick look at Pulse. Now Pulse has a very tight angle on the doorway, but Lion's drone spots him off. Brian is inside of the elevator, so Max thinks better of it.
Oh,
There's the incendiaries. He cannot move here. He's
Toast is
stuck here for
toast.
10 seconds. Anthrax will get the wall opened up. Lions moving on in, pushes in, finishes off Doc. Brian, however, was able to get Bios. And with that, it's now a 3-on-2, 30 seconds left. Looks for Hopak coming in through Volt. Can't land the shots. Lion's gonna have to make a push in here, and Hopak's gonna drop. Does he land him? No,
There
Lion's
we
able to
go.
get the kills. It's now all up, and it will be Team Vitality getting 1 point for today's matchup, winning the map on Bank.
Definitely a close one there. There was a lot of trades back and forth. I was surprised at some of those defensive kills as they had such a strong attack, but
Very strong. I mean, I liked it. I liked it. I thought they played it well. I think E-Punks was a little bit too aggressive, a little bit too unorganized with their Jaeger and Bandit play upstairs,
yeah.
and it didn't turn out for them.
I still think